Okay, welcome to Team Call Tuesday. It is March 19th, 2019, and I don't know where you guys are all located, but the sun is finally showing in San Diego after 2 straight months of of raining, so I'm pretty jazzed. And tonight we are talking about social media, which is kind of my jam. So I'm going to talk fast. This might be one you want to repeat or listen to again, or take notes or screenshots, whatever you need to make this the most valuable call for you. But for random announcements, if you did not listen to the National Wake Up Call yesterday, I suggest you do that because it was awesome information about Shakeology, and I actually had just listened to this 2-hour-long Shakeology surge. And so some of the information was not new to me, but I had just heard it for the first time. And I had no idea Isabel Deichler, how she basically was so, hi sis, can you go eat? She was so sick, and she was not witch doctoring, but basically creating her own shake with all of the goodness to make herself, heal herself with alternative medicine. And then that's one of the pieces how Shakeology was born. So that's so cool. And happy birthday to Shakeology, 10 years today. And coaches always joke, if you've heard or ever listened to a YouTube training from a coach who's been in the business a long time, that when Shakeology came out, it did not taste good, but it did the same thing in regards to making your body feel so great. And so if you don't like Shakeology, or if you struggle, you need to just keep working with it until you find a recipe, because you need to get it in your body. It's a wonderful, glorious thing. And if you struggle with that, the National Wake Up Call was great and for you. So anyways, Ultimate Portion Fix is launched. Woohoo! I don't know who has ordered. Drop in the chat if you were excited about this program. This 21-day fix and Autumn is my soul program. Okay, you need to go downstairs. So bye. Bye, I love you. I love you, bye. Was my very first program, and I got the most amazing results, and I went all in. So I'm really excited to do this. It's kind of like a full circle because I'm done having babies, and now this is what I'm doing again. So look into that if that's something that you want to do. I personally will have 2 challenge groups going in the beginning of April. So we're finishing out the second round of Transform 20, which is going amazing. And then if somebody wants to do the Ultimate Portion Fix and 21-day fix, we're going to have 1 challenge group on the Challenge Tracker app. And then if you want to do, or if you are not doing that and you want to do an alternative program, because oh my gosh, Beachbody On Demand has so many options, you can just be in a regular challenge group. For me, I am requiring my girls to do either, Recover and Energize, or Shakeology, and obviously a Beachbody workout to be in the challenge group app. So I have a place for everyone. So if you have somebody who wants to do the Ultimate Portion Fix, if you have somebody who doesn't want to do the Ultimate Portion Fix, if you have somebody who just wants to get Beachbody On Demand and does not want to commit to any supplements, you have Together We Are Better, our community page. And in there, you see people posting sweaty selfies, recipes, all that kind of stuff. That's our home base. But I think that when we're in the challenge group, it's better when people put a little skin in the game, when they are investing in themselves, they're investing in Shakeology, because we believe so much in Shakeology and our products that we encourage them. So anyways, that's kind of the announcements going on. So let's just get into social media. So I believe you are either strong as a coach, you come into this business either naturally kind of strong at social media or naturally strong at invites. If you naturally come in and can do both really easily, I think you are a unicorn. It's either you kind of easily share, more easily share your journey, or you more easily reach out to people and invite them to come along the journey. But that's okay, because no coach is just like another. And so we just have to learn to do the thing that makes us uncomfortable, that the thing we know we need to do. So I am somebody who has shared my journey from day one. No problem, very unapologetically, like, this is me, this is my journey. And that's kind of how I became a coach, is that I started sharing already what I was doing, and then I was like, why shouldn't I just get paid for this? Because 21 Day Fix is the jam. So on this call, we're going to just talk about some tips for social media, some do's and don'ts. And I'm going to stress that your social media is your storefront. You do technically have a website, but nobody really knows that you have a website, because we send links, we send share carts, so, and we don't have a brick and mortar store. So your social media, this kid is just nonstop eating, guys. I can't even keep up. It is your storefront. It is when you invite somebody, or when you follow someone, or if you're like, hey, check me out on Instagram, they're going to go and see what you are all about. So they're going to scroll back a little bit. They're not going to scroll back to the very beginning of time, but they are going to scroll back enough to see, hey, what is this girl doing? Has she been doing it for a while? Has she been consistent? Is she showing up for herself? Because if she shows up for herself, maybe she'll show up for me. And if she shows up for herself, maybe I can show up for myself. And that is what we do as a coach. As coaches, we share our journey. All we do, you guys, is work on ourselves and share our journey and our truth. My truth is not your truth. My truth is not Danielle's truth. My truth is not Rachel's truth. My truth is my story. And nobody can argue with your own opinion and your own story. Some people love lemon energized. Some people love fruit punch energized. Like, you see the trend here. So all you're doing is sharing what is working for you. And I think it is important to remember that as health and fitness coaches, everybody knows they should, like, eat healthy. Everybody knows they should exercise. But the difference in what we show is that we are doing these things consistently through the struggles of life, where, like, I did a post today and I did a transformation, and I said, like, one workout doesn't give you abs, just like one piece of cake isn't going to kill your gains. It's what you do consistently. And consistency is how we get results in our fitness journey and in our business. And so what you're showing the girl on the other end of the phone, who's like, well, I have a gym membership, and, like, you know, I go and then I don't go, and then I go and then I don't go. Maybe this would work for me, because she's showing up and she has kids crawling on her, or she's working a bunch, or, you know, insert whatever your story is, you're showing up. So your social media is an incredibly powerful tool that I believe is it will play so much in your favor if you allow it to. As somebody who has moved 3 times, had 3 babies in my time as a coach, I, you know, honestly have not always been the best inviter. But if someone were to go to my social media and scroll back, I have posted every single day. I have storied every single day. I have shown up. So when I do invite, or when someone is ready, they know that I will be there. So yeah, that's that. So now I have a PowerPoint, because of course I do. I'm just checking my notes really fast. Okay. Can you not eat for like 2 seconds so I can do this, baby? Okay. How do I present? Isn't there like a present button? Whatever, I'll just make it big. Okay, so social media one-on-one. I hate that it's like this though. I don't like it. I don't like it. Brenna, if you are still on, is there like a way to present it? Oh. Down at the bottom, down at the bottom. Oh, like this button right here. Oh, dun, dun, dun. Okay, thanks. Thanks, sorry. Thanks, Janae. Way to be my wing girl always. Okay. Where are the things? Now if I click, what button? Cannon, you're so killing my vibe. right here. Okay, so I think, just like I explained, that social media is half the piece of the puzzle. So we're planting seeds with what we post. We're planting seeds with when we invite. We're saying, hey, we do these fit camps. If you'd like to do it with us, like, I'm here for you, girl. And then we're showing up on their newsfeed. We're showing up in people's Instagram stories. And that seed is planted. And then there's a great statistic, and I don't know it by heart, but it's like, on average, somebody needs to be exposed or invited to a product 8 times before they're ready to buy in. And so when you're posting, and maybe it's not like 8 days in a row of you doing your workout is like the magic number, but it's that idea that they need to see you over a longer period of time until they are ready to jump in. And we are not in control of when someone is ready, but we are in control of our own journey and sharing that. So some of the basics really fast, if you're kind of new to coaching, public or private profile. I say you should be a public profile because it's your business. And if you are not public, if you go to follow somebody, first of all, if you go to follow somebody and they go to follow you back, they can't see what you're all about. So they're probably not going to follow you back. Second, as you grow, what if one of your posts ends up on the Explore page on Instagram? Well, they're not going to be able to click your profile because you're private. So you're really, Brigida said it once in a training. She said you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you limit your profile to private. Choose a platform and stick to it. So I'm going to suggest that you do Instagram. We were kind of in a shift when I originally made this PowerPoint. Like, it was like, well, if Facebook is working to you, great for you, great. If Instagram is working for you, great, stick to that. But I'm going to say you should probably go to Instagram. Facebook seems kind of like it's dying. Not that it's not great for people you've already been talking to. I kind of post the same post on each end, just to keep that curiosity going for people who I have been talking to for years on Facebook but never jumped in. But ultimately, my main focus is finding people on Instagram, because I have very easily, especially in the last year, like, dove into like who my tribe is. Teachers, moms, women with, specific kinds of pasts, coming from struggle. That's my specific tribe. I don't like connect with one woman on all of those points, but we do connect on at least one of those things. So, and it's easier for you to search hashtags and find people in Instagram. So choose a platform, and I'm going to tell you to do Instagram unless you're like super dead set on Facebook. And then open your door daily. So like I said, your Instagram or your social media feed is your storefront. So you have to open that door at least once a day. You have to open flip the sign that says open for business. I'm here showing up. That doesn't mean you have to post a sweaty selfie every single day. That doesn't mean you have to do an invite, like a call to action, like, hey, join my fit camp on your story or your news feed every day. But you need to show like, hey, I'm here. I'm still here no matter what. So once a day, if you're really hustling, I believe in the 10X rule. So if the minimum requirement is once a day and you wanted to do it, up to 3 times a day, I think that the more exposure, the more watering of the seed is not a bad thing. So there have been seasons of my business or weeks in my business where I just have a lot to say. And there's other weeks in my business where I don't have as much to say. I don't always have like crazy truth bombs from personal development. I often take notes or like write down quotes that really stick out to me in my personal development. And then when I'm kind of feeling like I feel super uninspired today, like I haven't showered, my babies are throwing up all over me, and I use old motivation from like the last couple weeks to create a post. Okay, some basic do's and don'ts about posting and sharing your journey. So lots of do's, let's focus on the do's first. So do's, share your whole entire life. If you are a mom, a teacher, an event planner, a social worker, it is so important that you share your whole life, but also share like the details of it. And I don't mean like, I live here on this street, but sometimes you're sharing that, like, maybe you're sharing yourself from work. Like I used to share from my classroom. I would say, like, maybe not every day, but pretty regularly, I would explain that I was a special education teacher, because if you're having new followers come to your page, they're not going to know that what you do. I mean, you might be in a classroom, they might know you're in a classroom, but you know, very specifically, I'm a special ed teacher, and that is like a whole different category. Just like if someone was a 5th grade teacher, that's a whole different, you know, category of teacher that, you know, I don't even understand. I can't even write a paragraph effectively. So, and then post daily, we just talked about that. Try to keep your photos bright, clean, and crisp. So a great way to do this is to go in front of a window. Try to take your picture in front of a window. If you can't, because I remember for years, you guys, I did my workout at 4:30 in the morning, and it's pretty dark at 4:30 in the morning. So there are filters. There's, you know, sometimes I would take it in the bathroom. Sometimes I would save some of my sweaty selfies for like Saturdays when I knew I was going to be in front of a window. But also presets are really great. If you don't know what a preset is, presets are like this filter that you can buy on like Etsy or really whatever. They'll come up. You can like search them. And it makes, so like if you were to like, you know, you open up one of those fancy apps that like you do the brightness and the darkness and like the, you know, you adding color or contrast and all the things on that little sliding scale. Well, the preset has it like specifically dialed on all of those things to a way you like it, and then it just saves that setting. So then you just copy that setting and put it on your photos, so that it's like every photo has the same kind of theme. But that's a great way to lighten some of your photos for those of us who get up early or are doing things in the dark. Especially in the beginning of your business, you're going to have to either get up early or stay up late. And in those times, if you want to take a picture, if you're having some inspiration and you want to share that you're working on this amazing side hustle, you're going to want to throw some filter or preset to lighten it. Do curiosity posting. So it's really important to not to keep people guessing, so that they have to ask you. Because if someone assumes that they know what you're doing and they have already a preconceived notion or assumption in their head of what Beachbody is or what Shakeology is, you know, everybody and their mother is like, Shakeology is a protein shake, right? But we know that Shakeology it has protein in it, but it is nowhere near a protein shake. And so I don't say I'm drinking Shakeology. If someone asks me, I'll put it in a private message and I'll talk to them about it. And then I can easily and more comfortably for them say, hey, have you heard of Shakeology before? And they're like, you know, a lot of times they'll say, yeah, I've heard it's kind of expensive, right? And then I can talk to them about that, because when someone is trying to get healthy, when someone needs a solution to digestive issues and you know, cravings and sugar rush and all that, $4 a day is nothing compared to the $11 I was dropping at Starbucks at least 4 to 5 times a week out of like starving necessity. So I think there are totally appropriate times to say, hey, I drink Shakeology. There are totally appropriate times to say, hey, I'm doing Transform 20. But it's good to just kind of leave those titles vague, so that they have to ask you. That has been very successful for me. Okay, so some don'ts. Don't overshare things that are really personal. As someone who shares vulnerability like pretty regularly, I will tell you that I have been through things in the last 4 years that my social media has no idea has gone down, because I have not worked through it yet. Oh yeah, Candace? Oh yeah. So when you have a chance to work through something, absolutely share that thing, because when we connect on like an emotional level with somebody who's reading our posts or someone who's posting, you stick out in their mind. They'll remember you because your heartstrings, I always say your heartstrings connected, and when your heartstrings connected, they connect. Like it's more attractive for them to connect stories with you than just like, oh, she does her workout every day. So don't overshare things that you haven't worked through yet. Don't use stock photos if you can help it. Here's why. I think that sometimes we do need to show stock photos. You know, on Instagram stories, like there's a way to do it that looks really great. But a lot of times people know that these products are out there. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I did that. Girl, scroll back on my Facebook page, because that's all I did was share like Autumn's little, you know, the 21 Day Fix cover with like her little green sports bar. Like I did it all of the time. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I did that, don't worry. It's like a rite of passage that you kind of have to share the stock photos for someone to say, hey, don't share the stock photos. But it's not, you can do it, and I definitely have done it. Like recently, I've done it with the Ultimate Portion Fix on my Instagram stories, because you kind of have to show like what you're kind of talking about. But do it in the most you way possible, because they know that these products are out there. Even if someone has never heard of Beachbody before, they know there are at-home workouts they can do. They don't want to be sold. They want to get to know you so that they can like you, to trust you, to join you. That is the process. So they're going to see you, you know, doing whatever you do on a normal basis, and they're going to like you. Maybe they're going to think you're funny, or they're going to think you're sweet, or they think you have great recipes, or for whatever reason. And then they're going to start to trust you because you're adding value, which I totally skipped that on the do side. So hold on. Let me come back to that. But they want to see you doing these things and your success. Like, I totally don't want to bash any other network marketing, because I don't think it's, you know, kind. But oh my gosh, with the keto and the It Works and all of the things, you know, that they just share all these transformations that are not them. And I think that there is power of sharing like a mass amount of, not a mass amount, but I need to like minimize me. I can't look at myself talking. It's good to share other people's transformations. I'm not saying that's a negative thing, but it's more powerful when you share your own transformation. And so when you have these products in your hand and you're sharing it, oh my gosh, yes, that is gold. Share your stuff, share your things, share your team's things. Say, shout out your girlfriend who's your success partner. Do that, absolutely. But it's better to say, this is my experience, and hey, there's this product that I'm selling. So don't, you know, dark, unclear, or blurry. Don't be a Beachbody billboard. So there are so many other beautiful things about you other than Beachbody. And I love that Carl always says that this business is supposed to give you a life. It's not supposed to be your entire life. So this is something that is so silly, but people love it. Organizing projects. So, you know, you want to clean your house anyways, right? Like, you have this to-do list that you're like, oh my gosh, take it to your social media. Like, hey, I'm trying to clean out my medicine cabinet. Like, show those before and afters. People love that stuff. You're sharing like something, guys, I'm a stay-at-home mom who serves. Yeah, I do serve, but like not in the last month. And I do other things, but they're not the most exciting things. But you would not believe the amount of messages I get off of the little things, like the baby-led weaning that I shared yesterday. Oh my gosh, I'm getting the messages up the wazoo about things. So whatever's going on in your life is relevant to your followers, because you're adding people to your network who are in the same stage of life. So share everything about you. And then don't use Beachbody lingo. So it's okay if you've never said Transform 20 or Shakeology or Energize, because people don't know what that is. Explain what you're doing. Hey, I just started this 20-minute step program that, you know, is full body but high intensity but with a modifier or whatever, and I'm loving it. People don't know. You know, it's the same thing when we shout each other out, which I'll never stop saying, like, hey, this person went emerald or this person went diamond, but nobody knows what that means. So when you have wins, when you hit Success Club, when you're a success starter, when you're all of the things, you can share that, but it's okay that nobody knows what you're talking about. So be careful with your Beachbody lingo that you're explaining what you're doing. So when you send an invite, like, hey, have you seen, I was doing Transform 20, they're going to be like, I don't know what that is. Or, hey, did you see I'm doing that new 20-minute workout program? Yes, I saw you posting about that. See what I'm saying? And then don't share links on your Facebook. This is kind of an old one that people don't really do as much anymore. But if like you love a quote, for example, save that quote, that picture from Pinterest or whatever, and then repost it. If you do a reshare, Facebook doesn't, it's like an algorithm thing. Facebook won't share it as much, or it won't be seen by your friends or followers as much as if you were to post it yourself, because they don't like reshares, which is weird because you see things being shared like millions of times, but those are just the viral ones. So it's better to have something coming from you for the first time. Now, let me go back to adding value. So add value in lots of different ways. I am not a great cook, but when I find something that works for me, I'll add value by sharing that recipe or sharing a tip that works for me. I'll add value by, oh my God, my kids, hold on one second. Hey, are you guys eating? Sit down and eat, please. Sit down. Did you hear him? Mom. Sounds like that kid from, I don't know, Full House or something. So add value in lots of ways. Like I said, organizing tips. Like Brenna does makeup. I don't know how to, like, she literally had to put makeup on me in New Leader Conference. And that's not my jam. Whatever you're naturally good at, or not even naturally good at, what you're working on. Like, I journal for my kids, like way less than I should. But every time I share that I have a journal for my kids, that I write in, I get messages that are like, oh my gosh, I should totally do that. And I say, like, I'm trying to give them a present when they're adults of all the memories, you know, well, not all the memories, but of memories of them. And people are like, that's a great idea. That's adding value. Adding motivation, telling your story. There's lots of ways to add value. And if you feel like you don't know, ask a really good friend of yours, say, what am I good at? And we can all tell like our friends what they're good at, but sometimes it's hard to say what we personally are good at. So ask a friend and they'll tell you in 2 seconds, and then share about that. Okay, so when you're like, okay, share my whole life, what am I supposed to share about? So figure out who you are. Who am I? You know, I'm Samantha. I'm a special ed teacher. I'm a mom of 3. I've moved a lot. I live in San Diego. Literally write this out if this is something that you struggle with. And then who did you used to be? Where are you headed? What is the kind of woman you're trying to be? And share all of that. Choose 5 things that make you you and write them down so that when you're like, what do I post about today? Oh my goodness, I feel like I've been a little bit on the Beachbody heavy side. Like, you know, I've been sharing a lot about the Ultimate Portion Fix or the flash sale going on or something like that. What are the 5 things about you that make you you? And then share that. Maybe you're a dog lover. Maybe you're a dog mom. Dog moms love pictures of other dogs. Like my friend Ashley, she is my very best friend in the whole world. I watched her once delete a picture of me and her to take another picture of her dog when literally like the entire phone was full of pictures of Harley Davidson. That was the dog's name. And I was like, I don't get it. But I mean, I guess I would do that for my kid. But the point remains is that when you are you and you're sharing that, your people are going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, more pictures of the dog or more pictures of your cleaning project or whatever it is. And then embed your business into your life. So it doesn't have to be like a picture of you sitting at your computer, like, hey, I'm crushing my, my power hour right now. No, it can be like, oh my gosh, I was just walking through the grocery store and I just got this amazing message from my coach or my calendar. And she said this thing. I'm so blessed that, you know, this is my job. You know, this is what I do on the side. This is another job I have. Embed it into your life. It doesn't all have to be so technical. I see the chat is blowing up, but I can't look at it right now. So here's the cycle of social media. The cycle of social media and watering that seed, watering that plant that I was talking about in the very beginning, is that you're going to be adding people to your network who are like you in those 5 ways. So teacher, mom, scrapbooker, dog mom, wanderlust, you know, whatever those things are, like couponer. You know, Brittany is new on our team and she is like the thrift shop queen. And thrift shop people love to know tips and tricks from other thrift shop people. So you're sharing, or you're adding people to your network every day, because I don't know if you can see me, but I'm getting where is it? Here, because I'm putting this all down your throats, right? The Success Club Tracker is it, you guys. Everything you need right here. So in the beginning, you know, initiate connections and add followers. That is part of your job, is to do that. And so when you're doing that, you're like, okay, you're going to go #thrift shopper, and you're going to go and you're going to scroll until you find somebody who is like, oh my gosh, I want to be best friends with this girl. #teacher. Everybody does #teacher life. So maybe something a little bit more specific, like 5th grade or writing project or writing prompt or whatever. And then you're going to scroll and find people who are your babes, and you're going to follow them. And those people are going to hopefully follow you back. If not, no big deal. You're not my tribe anyways. And then you're talking and posting to your tribe, because you're telling your story and your truth. And then on the back end, when it says initiate connections, when you're watching their stories and you're like, oh my God, I love that project. I just screenshotted it to do with my class. I always use teacher examples. I just talk about what I know. I'm sure there are other, you know, things. If you're like getting married, Amanda on our team is getting married. So I'm sure brides are like, they know all the tips and tricks of stuff like that. You know, I've been out of that game for a while. So you're talking about that, and then you're talking to them about non-Beachbody stuff. And then they're seeing you do your workout every day. And they're like, wait a minute, this girl is like me. And remember that people know they should eat healthy. They know they should work out, but they don't do it. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to make it work in their crazy life. And so they're like, holy crap, homegirl is just like me. Homegirl has 3 kids crawling around her while she does her workout. What is my excuse? Well, maybe and then when you're like, hey, I don't know if you've seen my Instagram stories, but I host these fit camps, and would you like a spot? I don't have people who are like, yes, here's my money, sign me up. But I do have people who are like, I've seen that you've posted about that. Can you tell me more? Then the circle continues. Then we go back. Then I'm posting. I'm continuing to post. I'm continuing to water that seed, telling my story, my truth. And then I'm still talking to them. I'm still gaining connections and becoming great friends with people, with genuine people. And then they're seeing me on my Instagram stories. And then I'm like, hey, I know you weren't really able to do it in January, but I'm hosting a fit camp right now, and I would so love to have you. What do you think? Maybe it's their time. Maybe it's not. But this is the cycle. And I have in my notes right here to remind all of you how long it took each of you to jump in a fit camp, whether it's mine or your personally sponsored coach or whatnot. But it takes a little bit of time. But you have to show up consistently to show them that you're there consistently. Okay, so this is an example of curiosity posting. So Brittany Leggett is a coach that I really admire. I think she's her integrity, she's very humble. I really like her. So she said, still recovering after this morning's workout. It was so much fun to get my little cub situated with daddy this morning and Zoom off to a workout with my teammates and coach family. I literally Zoomed because mom life plus always late, #always late. I'm forever grateful for the commitment we made to become coaches. That commitment has taught me to embrace fitness, blah, blah, blah. You can read the whole thing. But she's not saying specifically what she's doing, but this is a really great post that you know she's doing something. And you know from her Instagram stories, I'm sure that she's consistently doing it. But she's Brittany Leggett, and she's awesome. Hi, baby. Go downstairs, please. And then obviously we all love Keisha Fitzgerald, Empower Her podcast. Yes, yes, yes. And she is always dropping truth bombs, and she's great at telling stories in her posts. So she's like, just a girl with a little champagne margarita pizza taco bloat, a shiny, heavy aloed face to prevent awkward nose peeling, and an unpacked suitcase because morning laundry just never seems to be a higher priority than puppy snugs in my book. I just wanted to remind you, in a society that profits off our insecurities, sometimes it's just more fun to be a rebel and embrace your flaws, as she's pinching her tummy. To do what you want rather than to do what people expect of you, and to say, F perfect, I'm just gonna be me. Because truth is, people are always going to have something to say, but last time I checked, you are the only one that lives with your choices, not them. Do you, boo? So again, she's in her workout clothes. She's on her Instagram story showing that she's doing her workout, and she's showing that, like, hey, I work out because I love myself, not because I hate myself. I don't shame my body. I love my body, but I do life with champagne, margarita, pizza, and tacos, and I do me. And then, this was an old post of mine. I work full time. My husband works full time, and his hours are long, and days off has always been inconsistent up till recently. Making it to class or the gym where I wouldn't even know what to do literally wouldn't happen. So we crush it in the living room by following along to pros, staying in our PJs all day because that's the kind of mom I am. So, we're each speaking to our specific kind of woman, but that kind of woman would hear this message very clear that, I could do my fitness in my living room with my kids crawling around. And then remember to share where you started, where you are now, and where you're going. And a lot of that, this past, building up till now, this PowerPoint has been about, fitness and challenge groups and nutrition. But because sometimes we can't, coaching, and blow up the chat, please, if coaching makes you feel loved, if the team makes you feel supported, and it gives you a sense of community. I'm not seeing any chat blowing up, ladies. Okay, thank you. So I just get a little alert when it's happening. I don't get to see what's happening. But coaching, it's harder to take that picture, right? Because we're kind of alone behind our computer going like, yeah, I'm so excited. Like, team calls make me so pumped, you guys. Being with you, seeing your faces, seeing your success, seeing you, having a message come to me that says, like, I totally get why you do this. This is addicting. I love helping people. Literally, I could have cried and peed my pants all at the same time. Like, coaching makes me feel so happy and loved. And as somebody who craves community and moving so much, like, I have never felt alone. So it's easier to share the sweaty selfie, right? Because that evidence is really clear. Where in coaching, share where you started and in your fitness journey, where you are now, and where you're going. Share those transformations in every area. Take your before pictures in regards to your fitness from every angle. Because if you are insecure, like, after this baby, I realized I had the most, I had more weight gain in my back than I had with other pregnancies. So I took pictures of that so that I can share that transformation down the road. If I have back fat, somebody else has back fat. If you want to work on your thighs, somebody else wants to work on their thighs. So sharing your transformations, where you started, where you are now, and where you're going. It's really easy to think that people are just inspired by the transformation. They're inspired by the journey. 110%, they're inspired by seeing you get up. Because again, people know they should do these things, but you're saying, life is crazy no matter what. I'm going to do me and do it so good, and I'm going to inspire you along the way. And then where are you going? What are your goals? I've been sharing pretty publicly that I need to work on my knowledge on nutrition. Boom, ultimate fixed portion. Like, that was just God's gift to me that now I actually have to do. But in coaching, it's very easy to say, like, where you started, where you are now, and where you're going. If you want to be a top 10 coach, share that. People are inspired by dreams because a lot of people, including myself, up until recently, did not say my dreams out loud. So say your dreams out loud, make them a goal, and hustle for them, and people will watch them happen. Small steps towards it, right? We don't just say, hey, I want to be a millionaire. Like, first you got to earn this much and then this much, and you share that growth. You share your personal growth, your fitness journey growth, all of the things, share it. So Simon Sinek, I hope I'm saying his name right, is this circle up top where the why, how, and what. He has a great TED Talk. I highly suggest YouTubing it. And he talks about how most companies share the what, the how, and then the why. Like, hey, this is a can of Coke. It is going to be really delicious. You're going to love it on a hot sunny day, and it's going to quench your thirst. Great. The difference is when we flip it and we start in the center and we say, why? You know what? I struggled with my body image my entire life. How am I going to fix this? Well, I'm going to get up right now and I'm going to do this workout because small steps over time get me to where I want to be. And what? This is what I'm doing. So you have to flip it. That wasn't like the best example, but the example he uses is Apple. Is that Apple advertises in such a way that it has a cult following. When you are an Apple lover, you are an Apple lover, because they share why, how to what. They don't say like, hey, this is a great phone, it has great things. It's like, their commercials are like them making memories in these incredible places and how their camera is going to capture that. And what? Oh, it's an Apple phone. When we share the why to the how to the what, that is how we connect our stories to each other. We connect our heartstrings, and when our heartstrings are connected, people will remember. Cannon, you are killing me. So daily actions with curiosity. And on the Success Club tracker, I hope you all have it either saved on your computer or on your phone or print it out. Do the thing. And it says right here, share a product without the name shown. So you see me every day do my Energize talk or whatever. That's really easy for me to do. But people message me and say, what is that you're drinking? And then I start a conversation and then I tag their name. Hey, they've been curious, and I go back. So if there's a great book called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. And so basically it's your jabbing is your like little jab, jab, jab. And then your right hook is your call to action. So you're like, bam, here's my sweaty selfie. Bam. You're not actually punching people. Please know that. Bam, here's my sweaty selfie. Bam, I'm getting up when the baby was up all night, when I had to do parent-teacher conference, when I had to do the things. Right hook is, are you going to do this with me? Here's your transformation or whatnot. And it's your daily timestamp. Please know that people are scrolling so fast. So as much as I want you to take time and put some effort into your post, please do not take more than 5 to 10 minutes because they're going to scroll right past it. That doesn't mean that they're not going to remember you. Like, oh, I have been seeing her every time I scroll. Every time I do my Instagram stories, homegirl is doing her workout. Homegirl is hustling for her side hustle. She's earning trips, for me, like I'm earning, I'm going on the cruise. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. The cruise I just earned. They remember that, but they're going quickly. The timestamp is going to be when, Cannon, stop. He is crawling so fast. Okay. The timestamp is when they come back and they say, and they scroll back and they're like, wow, she has been doing this. She has been consistent. She has made progress. She has made growth. And then, the call to action is the right hook. Like, are you going to do this with me? Now, please know if that is a scary post for you and you do it, like let's say you're new and you do hey, are you going to join me on the Ultimate Portion Fix? And nobody answers. I would love to validate you that nobody answers on mine either. And I've been a coach for 4 years and I'm a 1-star diamond who's on track for elite. But people don't want to publicly say it. Eventually it will come, and I believe that wholeheartedly. But also when I do my polls, like, do you want to do this? Most people do not answer. I get maybe 4 responses, and usually 2 of them are from the team. I always comment on polls I see, because when Instagram thinks that people are you know, commenting on the polls, then they think they should show your story to more people. So that's just me trying to help. But yeah. So just a quick shot of this slide was supposed to be back a little bit, but just looking at how they're bright and how, you know, there's different themes and they're kind of crisp, and you want your Instagram to look a certain way. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to look like this. You don't have to be like at the beach. I think I took this last summer after our cruise, or after we went to Mexico for the Success Club trip. That's why they're all by the pool. But you know, have your theme. I try to, you know, when I open my Instagram, I want it to look like, hey, maybe like different kinds of pictures, but yet fitness in the same kind of way. You know, you just want a variety but consistency, which is a very, you know, sounds like oxymoron, but that's true. You don't have to do the white quotes. I've done it because I like it. I love quotes. That is not everyone's jam. You don't have to do anything that anybody else does as a coach. What you need to do is be confident in your style and just roll with it. Whatever is working for you, just be consistent with that. Okay, so make it count. You only get 2 seconds, but stop stressing because you only get 2 seconds. So that's when people are flipping through your Instagram stories and you were sweating, you didn't know what to say. Oh my goodness, don't stress about it, because it's going to be gone in 2 seconds. It's the watering of the seed. It's not the one thing that you say that's going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, yep. It's a collection of things you say over time. So make it count. Like I said before, I want you to, you know, put things out on social media that are positive, that are motivating, that are your truth, authentically you in all of your glory. But stop stressing too much about it, because they're going to scroll right past it. And it's not because people don't love you, but if they're watching you that much, then they'll, you know, then they really will join you. Please stop pinching me. Okay, so I made this one before. You can go ahead and screenshot it. If you're like, what do I do? Like, it's Monday. I just gave some screenshot it or take a picture or whatever. Just an idea of something you could post about each day. And the bullet, those were supposed to be like bullseyes, but they weren't. I was trying to make them myself. Are like, those are when you're called to action. So Monday is like, why I got up today. I want to feel good for work. I was trying to remember exactly why I made this. I used to work at this really intense job. I was at an alternative placement for kids with behavior issues, you know, on the autism spectrum. And I needed to work out so that I was like mentally okay to handle those kiddos all day. So I would share about that. Then I would share on Tuesday a transformation. And then on Wednesday, like, how do I make this fitness thing work consistently? Well, I get up earlier, or I do it with my kids around me after work. And then Thursday I would do like, hey, do you want to do this, my next fit camp with me? And then Friday, so we're jab, 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 right hook, jab, jab, right hook. So I don't know why. Oh, Sunday is just twice because there's 4 Sundays in that. And then the same thing you can do about coaching. So why you got up early today, or why you stayed up late, a transformation in regards to your coaching journey, your confidence, your income, all of the things, how you make it work. Call to action. Do you want to do this coaching? Do you want to join this sneak peek? Whatever. I don't know why I have because I want cake, but you could find something. And then what your goal is. What are you working towards? What do you want out of this coaching opportunity? And then you have assignments. So I want you to comment in the team page and tell us what your 5 things are. So are you a dog mom? Are you a mom? Are you, you know, your occupation? What are your hobbies? What is your, you know, maybe you love peanut butter. Maybe that's something for you. I really love peanut butter and I never talk about it. And I am genuinely trying to talk about it more because I love peanut butter so much. Who is your audience? Which, not to point out the Success Club tracker again, but every single week you should be filling out who your audience is. Write it out. When you write it out, it tells, you know, like a signal to your brain. It retains, like, so when you're writing a post, you know you're talking to the moms, you're talking to the teachers. And then only follow 3 coaches that you have a healthy admiration, is that the right word? Don't follow a lot of top coaches, because I'm assuming, and I'm going to assume I'm correct, that most of us are pretty effing busy. And unless you are doing your entire tracker and having hours to spare, you should not be watching a bunch of top coaches' Instagram stories. That's comparison, that's envy, that's not productive. So I actually don't follow any anymore. I will search people that I do love, like Brittany Leggett and Keisha, because I think they have great post content. And sometimes I am like, oh, I don't really know what to say. I never copy what people say, but I will use their posts for an inspiration to find my own words. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything you do, that there's anything wrong for you to do that. But again, it's your story. And if you're using another coach's words, that's not your story. And so you're not going to, it's just your audience won't receive that because it's not you. So if that makes sense. Let me check my notes really fast. Oh, and then I have a couple things. First of all, look at it's blue because this stupid computer. Ugh, it was so good for like a day. Stacy is gonna watch this recording. She works late on Tuesdays, but she was like, messaged me that she didn't know how to do a coming out post as a coach, and she's like, well, I scrolled all the way back in your Instagram. If you want a good chuckle, go ahead, scroll all the way back to Samantha's beginning Instagram, because homegirl was getting like 2 likes, was not good. It was not good. It was not good. It was not good. However, I have grown a business over time, because where you're at right now speaks to your tribe right now. So roll with that. You know, your beginning coaches are super, the Sam I Am post, that was a classic. But do an audit. So for me, open up your Instagram. If you have your phone, open up your Instagram right now. Don't scroll back, because most people are not scrolling. So your top 9 posts, do you have a transformation there? Do you have a call to action? Do you have some of the top 5 things that we just talked about that are you, whether you're a mom or, you know, you love like, I'm just looking at mine, like, I love family. I have Shakeology. I'm working. I have fitness. I have quotes that are, you know, stressing that mom life is imperfection. And mine is not perfect. So I'm not saying that mine is perfect by any means, but it's a good check that once a week to look back at your social media. And because people are not going to continue to scroll. They're going to, if you follow them, they're going to open up, they're going to, you know, click your handle. They're going to go to your page and they're going to try to see what you're about real quick. And they're either going to follow you back or not follow you back. It's not usually a long decision for people. So check to make sure that you're rotating in good content. That being said, people don't scroll back more than 9 photos. So if you want to reuse a photo that you think you look dang fly in, please do. Use that photo again. I do all the time. Half my my photos, I'm like, you know, mom's like the mom glam, not Candy. And I have a few pictures that you guys on my team, I'm sure you've seen a million times, but I'm adding new followers every single day. So they have never seen that photo before. And people are scrolling so fast that most people don't know, even if they've seen that photo multiple times, even if I've told that story again and again. I don't copy and paste that story, but I tell that story with a different spin, a different flair or whatnot. Because it's my story. My story, you know, I don't have like hidden memories that I'm discovering over time. I have the same memories that have impacted my life, and I tell that story, good and bad, on repeat in different ways. So I hope that this call was, let me see if there's like any questions or anything. Yeah, see, Danae? We all love each other so much. Ow, 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 ow. Chester has 609 followers. See, dog moms. Yes. So that's it. That's social media. Again, I mean, there's so many more trainings. If you have to be a learner in this business. If you, when you're doing your tracker, if you are struggling with a specific check, that needs to become your personal development. So if you're like, dang, I just cannot figure out how to do a social media post that showcases the benefits of my healthy lifestyle or to call to action, then I suggest, it's fine, he's just doing him. I don't need to do anything. So if you're struggling with that, and you know, you're watching the National Wake Up Call, and who did we just have? Amy Silversman. Oh my God, she was so good. I would go to YouTube, Amy Silversman, social media. She's in the top 10. She clearly knows what she's doing. What is her most recent training on social media? Watch it. Coaches you admire and you love. Look at their trainings. I mean, you can look, I mean, gosh, my YouTube channel, please don't scroll back to 2016 because those trainings are not great. However, I have all the trainings there. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can go to Brigitta's. You're killing me. So become a learner. And if you struggle with something on your Success Club tracker, that is what your personal development becomes. And if you're digging Girl Wash Your Face or Girl Stop Apologizing, do a business related training a couple times a week. You don't have to do it all day, every day. But that's all I have. So I hope you guys felt inspired to do some kick butt posts tomorrow, or just really to show up. All we have to do is show up. And everybody needs to send a lot of well wishes to Sarah that this baby will come out of her, because due date is Thursday. We're all, Cammy, say baby out. Yeah, just like that. All right, love you guys. Oh, there's 5 more messages on this call. Thank you. Sarah, where's the baby? Okay, so if you, picture, thanks, Janae.
Mama.
Yes, baby.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, baby. Okay, ready? 1, 2. We're gonna boomerang. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Mama.
Yes.
Hi, Mama.
You want to say hi? Who's that? Okay.
Hi, Cammy. I just woke up my baby. Oh, well.
Oh, now she's embarrassed.
Hi, cutie.
She's embarrassed.
What are you doing? Peekaboo. Hi.
So cute.
Ugh, this girl. All right, guys, love you. I know East Coast is late, so get to bed, and we will talk soon.
Bye.